Hi guys, and welcome again to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go over the palindromic substring problem, LeetCode number 5. Okay, first of all, let's first answer the question, what do we mean by palindromic or a palindrome string? Any palindrome string is a word that you can read from the left, same way as you read it from the right. So a word that you can read from the same from any direction, the left or the right. So it would contain the same. Output or the same letters in it. Now, if you wanna start and think how can we possibly solve it, like the first thought that might come to your head is let's loop all over the string. So let's write down our string. So we first start looping over our string. So we start at the B, and then from the B, we start finding the possible combinations of the substrings. Okay, and at the same time, we will check, is this palindromic or not, palindromic or not, palindromic or not, what's the size of it, and if it's the longest, because they're asking us for the longest substring that is palindromic. Now, then we go and repeat the whole process again with the letter A. We start with the possible combinations that you would get with the letter A at the starting point, and we do the same for like the B, the possible combinations, and we compare the new results with the previous results, and we keep track of the longest. Now, this solution would work, but it would take around n squared or n cubed time based on your implementation, big O of n squared or big O of quadratic, and that's not optimal, and we want to do that because in this example we have a short string, but usually you would have bigger stuff. Now, how should we solve this question then? The approach that is it's not easy to come up with, but if you think closely at the problem, you would find it out. It's a concept we call expansion. Okay, so you would start by the letter that you have. Let's say here we're starting at the B. Okay, we would make it the center of our output. Okay, it's the center of our output, and then we would expand to the left, to the right, and to the left, and we would check, is this palindromic or not, and what's the size of it. So the letter B and the letter D, they would have only one side to check. So here the B would have only the A, and the D would have here only the A. But the second letter, just to move this stuff. The second letter, let's say the B, or like the, oops, sorry. Okay, let's say the B here, okay. It would have A to its right and the A on the other side, and then we would expand like this, such that we're keeping B at the center. All right, again, we would keep each letter as the center of our output, okay? And we would expand to the right and to the left. Okay, in each time we expand, so we increase the pointer of the right and the left, like we move one point, okay? We check, is this output, let's say here, palindromic or not? What's the size of it? Is it the longest or not? Then we keep moving in our loop until we reach the optimal output, Of course, here we don't have, this is not palindromic because when you read it from the right, it's different than when you read it from the left. And in this example that they gave us, we have two possible outputs, either the one that they gave us, which is the B, A, B, or the one in the middle, which is the A, B, A. Either outputs are fine. Now, this is good. This is the scenario when you have an output that is odd size. What do we mean by odd size? It means that we have a center point and we have, like, on the right and on the left, like the same amount of letters. Now, what will happen when we go over a scenario like the one in example 2? Let me just clear out the mess that I made. Now, when we have a scenario where the output is of even size, so like we have here the BB, okay, we would also keep a letter as our center. So we would still, let's write down our example, C, E, B, D, okay? We would still keep each point as the center and we would expand, but our initialization for the right pointer and the left pointer would be slightly different because we don't have an odd number of letters, so they would be off by 1. Okay, enough with this illustration. You will get the idea when we move on to the code. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is we have our output string, and we're gonna start with looping over our for I in range and S. So we are going over our string by index. Okay, now we have to keep track of two things, the left and right pointers. So left and right pointers. So left, right equals 0, 0. So we're declaring these two variables as 0. And we can also go ahead and declare them with the I value as well. Okay, so they both start at the same location. I just want to write here. That's our example. So the left and the right pointers will start with the at I. So as I said in my previous illustration, we have two scenarios. The first scenario, first case, is the odd output, okay, which is like the ABA or the BAB. All right, now, okay. Now, after we declared the left and right pointers, we want to go ahead and start checking for the palindrome. So while left is what? Bigger or equal to 0, and right is less than len of S. And what, guys? And my letter at the, like, I want to check if the right and the left values are what? The same. Like, I want to check for if it's palindromic or not. So S of left is equal to S of right. Then when I go over like this second loop, I will go ahead and check if what? If the right minus left is bigger than what? The output, the len of my output. So if right minus left is bigger than the output, then go ahead and update the output. Output is equal to S from the left to the right plus 1, and output length also will be the length of this this result. All right, now I will go ahead and update the pointers. So left minus 1 and right plus equal to 1. Okay, and I will do this for all like letters. I would check the right and the left side for them, and this is for the odd scenario. Now the second case, when I have we want to check for the second case, which is the even output, when we have something like the BB. Okay, that's the second scenario we have. So basically we're gonna do exactly the same, except for we're gonna make the left and the right. I will start the right by 1, okay? And then I'm gonna do this whole thing the same here. Okay, while left is bigger than 0 and right. So these are my bound conditions. And then I will check if right minus left, like if the size of this palindrome, because when we are here at this point, it is a palindrome because I checked if the left is equal as the right. And then I would make my substring. That's how you make a substring. And then I would update the output, the pointers, zoom it out a bit for you. And then I would return here, turn. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code. So this is an even case scenario, and if we have the odd case scenario, it would also work. Okay, let's go ahead and submit it. Perfect.